Hello everyone, welcome to day 4 of logic building in programming. Today we are going to solve a simple problem which is reverse the integer. So given an integer, what you have to do is reverse it. So if you are using Python or JavaScript, it is not recommended to use any library function. Let's understand this problem. Let's say you are given an input number. Let's say you are given 3, 2, 1, 2. What you have to do is reverse the number. The reverse order will be 2, 1, 2 and 3. Similarly, it should also work for negative number. Let's say the input is minus 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the output should be minus 4, 3, 2, 1. Similarly, it should also work for numbers that would end with 0. For example, 1, 2, 1, 0. If we reverse this particular number, the output should be 1, 2, 1. So this should be our input and this should be our output. Similarly, if we input something called, let's say 1100, the output should be 11. So let's see how we can solve this problem. If you want to try it on your own, you can give it a try. It is a very common question asked in most popularly on board exams questions. So let's understand this particular question. We have to reverse. Let's first consider only positive numbers for now, then later we can focus on others as well. Let's say we have a number 3, 2, 1. The output should be 1, 2, 3. So what our logic should be is we should extract the last number from the given number and add here. It is in the ones place, it is in the tens place, and it is in the hundreds place. Then what we have to do is initially from 3 to 1 we have to extract 1. Let's say it as a final number and store it as an input. Then we have to eliminate it and make it to 32. And what we need to do is convert 1 into, by eliminating 2, convert into 12. Similarly, after we eliminate 2, the remaining value will be 3, and what we have to do is remove the 3 and add into this and make it 1, 2, 3. So let's first understand how we can get the last number. Let's say we have a number 3, 2, 1. In order to achieve 1, let's say this variable name is n. What we can do is, given a number n, if we do modulo 10, we will get the last digit. In case of this, what we can do is, let's say 3, 2, 1 modulo 10 will give us 1. Similarly, let's take another example. For example, 4, 5, 6 modulo 10, it would give 6. So by this way we can extract this particular values. After extracting these values, what we can do is store it in a final variable, let's say final v, and store it in, let's say 1 here and 6 here. Then what we have to do is eliminate the last digit. What we have to do is convert 3 to 1 into 32. So to eliminate this particular last digit, what we have to do is we have to do floor division. In case of let's say Python, what we can do is 3 to 1 double divide by 10. It would result in 32. In case of let's say JavaScript, we can do math.floor and 3 to 1 divide by 10. It would also yield the same result. Then after that what we can do is again 3 to modulo 10 and we will get 2 and append this value into this. For this, what we can do is move the ones values into tens value. What we can do is 1 into 10 plus the resulting value, which is 2, and the result will be 1 and 2. And again repeat this same process. 3 to double divide by 10 will be 3, and store the 3 in 12 by doing 12 into 10 plus 3, which will be 123. And finally, whenever the number reaches to 0, in this case 3 divided by 10 reaches to 0, then we stop here. So by this way we can solve this problem. Let's take another example to understand once again. Let's say we have a number. Let's start with a number. Let's say input number. This is a final value. Let's say our input number is 4, 5, 6. What we can do is eliminate this particular 6. For that, what we can do is 4, 5, 6 modulo 10, which will result 6, and we store the value into this. After this, what we have to do is remove the last digit so that we can move to another digit. So what we can do is 45 double divide by 10 and 456 double divide by 10, which will yield to 45. It will yield to value 45. Then again what we have to do is 45 modulo 10, which will yield us 5. And to update this value, what we can do is convert the ones value into tens value. 6 into 10 plus the new reminder 5, it will be 65. So the updated value will be 65. And again what we need to do is 45 double divide by 10, it will give the result of 4. Then it will give the result of 4. And what we need to do is convert these two value by 1 bit. So what we can do is 65 into 10 plus the remainder is 4 plus 4 will yield us 654. So the final output will be 654. So if you check here, initial input was 456 and the final output was 654. So this is a very simple problem, very basic problem. So you might have understand the basic logic here. Now what we will do is write the pseudo code for this. So let's write a basic pseudo code for this. So pseudo code will be something like what we need to store. First we will mention them. Let's say there's a number, let's consider 456, or you can input from a user, and another will be to store the final value, or you can say reverse number, and you can say reverse number is equal to initially 0. And to check if it is positive or negative, what we can do is set a flag here is negative and check if this particular value is positive or negative. So what we can do is 456 is less than 0. And after that what we can do is create a loop. So for this particular solution you can either iterate through all the elements and count them, but that would be a little bit difficult. So what we can do is create a while loop. So what we can say is while num is not equals to 0, we will repeat this process. Here what we need to do is first take the remainder here. Let's say we have rem equals to num modulo 10 and update the number. Num is equals to num divided by, let's say double divide. This is a floor division. Depending upon the programming language you can change the syntax here. Currently I am assuming it as Python. Then after this what we can do is store the value. So reverse number is rev num. What we can do is plus equals to, or we can do is rem number equals to rev num into 10. Older value gets multiplied by 10 plus the remainder. We add the remainder and we repeat the loop and finally print the value. So if it is a negative value, what we can do is, if is negative, what we can do is rev number is equals to minus rev number. So by this way we can solve this particular problem. Let's take an example and analyze this particular question. Let's say we have a number called 786. Its a reverse value should be 687. So let's see how this particular algorithm solves this problem. First we check if num is equals to 0 or not. We store the num value here, we store the remainder here, we update the num here, and we store the reverse number here. So let's first start. Initially the number will be 786. If we get the remainder will be 6. Initially reverse number will be 0, and when we try to do 0 into 10 plus 6 we get 6. And what we need to do is store the update the num value. So what we need to do is 786 double divide by 10, which is 786 double divide by 10, which is 78. Once again we go to the while condition. Num is updated to 78 not equals to 0 is condition true. So we go here, take the remainder. 78 modulo 10 is 8, and we repeat the process here. 6 into 10 plus 8. 6 is the previous reverse value, 8 is the remainder value, and we get 68. Similarly update the value. Old value is 78 double divide by 10 will yield us 7. So if we get try to get the remainder, Remainder will be 7 modulo 10, which is 7 itself, so we get the value 7 here. And in this case the old value is 68 into 10 plus the remainder is 7, so we get the 687 value. Again, when we update the num value, 7 double divide by 10, it is 0. So when we go to the while condition is no longer satisfied, so we end the loop here. So if we check our answer, it is a 786 and final result is 687. And if it is a negative number, what we have done is, let's say it is a negative number, same process is repeated, and if our this particular condition is met, if is negative, we convert 687 to minus 687. So by this way we can solve this simple problem, which is reversing an integer. So if you have any if you still have any confusion, do revisit the logic once again. Now we will be moving towards the code implementation. So now let's first solve this problem in Python, and then we will move towards JavaScript. So let's first create a variable num is equals to, let's say 234. Then we will need variables to store the, let's say, reverse number, which is equals to 0. And we will have a while condition while num is not equals to 0. What we would do is get the remainder num modulo 10 and update the reverse number equals to reverse number asterisk 10 plus remainder. And what you need to do is update num, so num equals to num double divide by 10 and print our reverse number will be stored here, we will be storing here. So if we run the code here, the output will be 432. And for the negative case, the output will, in this case it would create issue. So what we need to do is we have to make this particular number positive in order to avoid this issue. So let's add a if condition. If num is less than 0, what we need to do is convert num into positive value and set a variable, let's say is negative is equals to true, capital T. And finally, if is negative, what we need to do is n is equals to minus n num. And once we run this, let's remove this log, reverse num is equals to minus reverse num. So here we can get the negative value. So what we have done is created variable for the input value as well as the reverse number, and what we have done is converted the negative value into positive first, then perform our algorithm, and finally if the number is negative, convert back into negative. So by this way you can solve this code in Python. Let's see how we can solve this same code in JavaScript as well. So let's create a variable num, another variable reverse num equals to 0, while loop. Our condition is num not equals to 0. We can pretty much copy the code here except some changes. So num will be num remainder 10, and this will be the same code here, and here we need to use floor, and let's console log the reverse num. So we will do test.js, we got 6 and 9 num. Let's console log here, script.js, we got minus infinity here. Okay, let's revisit the logic here. So let's first check for positive value, then we will revisit. Yes, we got 432. And similarly for the negative value, we will have to repeat this logic once again here. If num is less than 0, what we need to do is convert num equals to minus num and create a variable. Here we need to use declare variable up here because let uses block soap. You can use var as well. Let is negative equals to false, is neg equals to true. Now it should work for negative values as well. Now it will work for negative values as well. So we have declared very basic variables here, if condition to convert negative value into positive, and here is our code logic here, and we have converted number into negative if it is a positive value, and finally console log the value. So by this way we can solve this problem. Thank you for watching the video till the very end. See you on next logic building series. Thank you for watching.